Hey, what's up, YouTube? We are live tonight, and today we're going to be comping properties. But before we get started, you know what I need? I need like 150 people on this live. So do me a favor, click the like button, press like, share, and share to your friends, because we're going to be going over some gems on how I comp properties. And I know a lot of people, because I get this question a lot. How do you comp properties? Hey, I'm trying to comp this property. Hey, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Don't worry. After tonight, you should have a great understanding exactly how I comp properties. And then if you don't get it in this video, I got a free training program that's going to show you my 4 golden rules, and it's including like how do you comp properties. So before we get started, make sure you press the like button, share this with your friend, and in the comments right now, tell me guys where you're from, because I want to see where everybody is from in this live YouTube we got going on tonight. This is the 3rd week in a row we're live, so let's keep this going. We live.
Approaching 100.
We're almost there. Need 50 more people, so make sure you share. Did I just rhyme by accident?
That was a good ball.
Did I just drop a bar? All right, everybody inside the chat, make sure you tell me where you're from. I'm looking. I don't see you. Arlington, Texas in the house. What's up, Jay Nicole? Dallas is in the house. Third Hustle. Shout out for y'all going live with me every week. Raleigh's in the house. Odessa's in the house. Orlando, Florida, Montreal. I see y'all. Jacksonville. Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Atlanta's always in the house. In New York right now, but from Texas. Detroit's in the house. Charlotte's in the house. Chicago, Fort Myers, South Florida, SoFlo, Kansas City, Thomasville, Georgia, Kansas City, Missouri, Jackson, Mississippi, Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. Phoenix is in the house. Jamaica's is in the house. Legit. All right, guys, this weekend, I'm going to actually Cancun, Mexico for the TAB retreat. It's going to be pretty cool. If you guys don't know much about that event, it might be too late to get tickets, but TAB retreat, I'm going to be there in Mexico this weekend for almost a whole week going over game. So TAB retreat, T-A-B retreat. But anyways, ATL's in the house. David from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, representing the Trey. I see you. Real DJ Smooth in Greensboro. Okay. How many people we got, Dave?
We're rocking at 110.
110. We need like 40 more people before we start. Press that share button. I don't want to eat until your time. We got a hard stop at 8 tonight, so we're going to get it done. And then I'm going to bring on a special guest while we do Q&A. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go over comping properties. I'm going to show you how I do it. And then hopefully you guys will follow along and do it yourself. So I'm going to get my handy dandy board behind me ready here in a second. Where are we at? I need 150 people in this room.
Getting closer.
Closer and closer. 150 in this room, and we're going to start. My dog is with me today. His name is Bentley. He's on the floor. I'm pretty sure you'll see him sometime during this live, because he's not staying still. He's a Belgian Malinois, and he needs to be playing all the time. So we got Boston, Massachusetts in the house, Las Vegas, Nevada, New Orleans. I hope you're safe down in New Orleans and your power is back. We're in here. All right, cool. So let's go over like what comping properties is. And essentially what comping is like you have what they call a comparative market analysis. And that's kind of where it came from. And so this is what most real estate agents do in order to get a price on a property, what the property is worth. And so we're going to start with the real basics. We're going to go over the definition, and then we're going to jump right into it and just start. And so I picked a property in an area, and I haven't done the actual comp set, so we're just going to see kind of what we're going to end up with, right? Cool. So let's get into this real quick. Let's get into this. So first of all, let's start off with the definition of what comping is. And like I said, it came from what they call comparative market analysis. And a comparative market analysis, also known as the CMA, is the estimate of a home's value based upon recently sold. Now, this is important. Recently sold similar properties in the immediate area, right? And so a comparative market analysis is an estimate of a home value used to help sellers get listing price and to help buyers make a competitive offer, right? So the main things is that you're going to worry about the location, the age, the size, and the construction style, and the condition, right? So what we mainly do when we're, as an investor, you're looking for what the repair value is going to be of the home. And we call that ARV, after repair value. Reason is because you know that after you spend the amount of money that you need to get the property up to speed, that's what the property is going to be, and that's what we use off. So one of my favorite tools that I like to use every day in real estate is Propstream. And so if you don't have Propstream, make sure you go over to maxpropertydata.com and get your 7-day free trial. And you can try this for 7 days for absolutely free without any risk. So let's go in here and jump right into comping a property, all right? So what happens is I put in an address. Hopefully I've been automatically logged out. So let's jump to the camera. Let's just log back in here. So I picked the property in the neighborhood that I actually did one of my first deals in, and it was a neighborhood that I actually lived in. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I would just get a phone call or I would find a property and how I would go out there and actually comp this property. And remember, if we go back to the definition, we're worried about location, age, size, construction style, and condition. Now, the condition really doesn't matter to us too much for investors. Obviously, it does play a factor in the actual price we're going to purchase it for, but it's not a big deal as far as, right? So I'm going to pick this property, 143 Flintfield Drive. Why did I pick this property? Because I actually grew up in this house, right? And so that's why I just picked it randomly. So if you're looking at the screen should be up on the live right now. This is what happens when you put in an address of a property. The green button is your actual property. And if we zoom in just a little bit, you start to see it breaks down the street here, and you're starting to see what the property looks like, okay? So I grew up in a house that's right here. And if you look to the right, it's giving you the details of the property. Now, what it's going to give you spit out automatically is what they call an estimated value. This necessarily is not going to be the actual value because you still got to go in and do your homework because we're going to look at the recently sold. Even though the algorithm of this tries to do that, I'm going to show you how to do it by hand so you can do it. Now, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, right? And so what's important, remember we talked about location, size, and all that, right? So we're going to start off with, it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1,197 square feet, so basically 1,200 square feet, built in 1967, okay? So we got the size of the property, the location, we know where it's at because we got it here. And it's a cool thing about Propstream is telling you what the estimated equity is based upon what the guess of the what the mortgage balance is versus what it's worth, right? So once you have that, you're going to go into the detail button. Let me get this on. So we're going to go into the detail button, and it's going to tell you everything about the property just like we've seen before. Bedrooms, the bath, the lot size, the size of the house, its estimated value, which we're really not going to pay too much attention to just because we're going to go out and get our own comps. So back here, this is important. All of this whole thing right here is important. And it says opportunity. Don't really worry too much about that right now, but it does give you like an estimated rent. Now you may need that for if you want to talk about it as a rental property, but we're not worried about that right now, okay? And so we're going to go into and hit the comp button comparables and nearby listings, right? So we're going to click on that right here. And we're going to start to narrow this thing down as much as possible. So right off the bat, you get to pick between public records, MLS, or both. Now, since I live in what they call a disclosure state, all property sales are recorded down at the courthouse, and that number of the sale price is actually disclosed. If you live in a state that's not, you're going to have to use the MLS button. So I'm going to use the public record data, and as you can see here, I'm going to go through and pick which properties, and I'm going to start putting my, right here at the comparable search, right? So you're going to go right here to this comparable search, and this is important. I'm going to start setting the parameters of exactly what I want the property to go in, because I want to have like properties, and I want to set my own comps. I want to set my own parameters. So one thing that it does, I think it goes up 20%, down 20% when it comes to square feet. So this square foot right here. And so before we do the square foot, we're going to talk about the sale date and range. So right now it automatically puts in 1 year. Now, I don't want to do 1 year. Okay, so I'm going to change, today is 9/8/21. I want to change this to something much closer than 9/8. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go down for the last like 6 months. So if we go back from September, you have August. Let's see here. You have June, July, August, and September. So I'm going to go, let's just say July. And I want to see what it does. And it says it only shows 2 properties. So since it only got 2 properties in the last 2 months, I'm going to go back a couple more months up to 6. I'm going to go to May 1st. And so now this thing has popped up a lot more properties. It's popped up 12. And so now I'm going to go square footage from 958 to 1400. So it does 200 below, 200 above. And so the distance of the mile is a half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it there for now. And then what I want to show you in this sheet here is on the subject property, I'm going to put this out. Now, this is important when you're finding comps, right, as far as the area you select. And the reason is because anytime you have major roads, like this is a major road, this is obviously a highway, right? But everything inside here looks pretty similar, which all our comps are inside of this area, right? So you don't want anything beyond the major roads that you see, right? Because you know if you cross a road, if you end up crossing a road, it can be a completely different neighborhood. It can go from middle class to high class. So many things can change. So you want to keep the area tight, right? And so right now it's showing me only these, which is important, right? So let's go through this. We went through the date, the square foot, the distance, the minimum bedroom and bathroom. Now, if we look at our subject property, which is up here at the top here, it's a top field, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. So minimum bedrooms, I'm going to put in 3. Maximum bedrooms, I'm only going to go to 4. But if you want to keep it real tight, let's do 3 and 3, right? So I only want 3 bedrooms in my search, and there's 2.5 baths. So I'm going to do anywhere from 2 to 3. All right? And I'm going to leave the year built off right now. So we went with sale date, square foot, distance, bedroom, bath. Only want the status of sold. You can change this to residential properties only. Right? Public record, property type. You can change that to single family as well, just in case where you're at doesn't automatically do that for you. And I'm going to leave the year built where it is right now. So right now it's found 5 properties. And what I want to make sure that every single property is not duplicated. Okay? So just narrowing down this field, I want to stay within 6 months, 90 days if you can, if you have enough comps, 200 square foot above, or I think there's a formula like 10% above, 10% below. Distance, you want to keep that tight within that same neighborhood. Try not to cross any of those major roads. Same bedrooms, baths, Bedrooms, bathrooms, you can go up one, but I'll show you what to do if you end up finding something that's a little bit different. And so now that it's got up here in white, it's got the property that I'm actually working with. So this is the property I'm working with. This is it's called the subject property. This subject property fits the criteria. All of these are single family because we did that. Public record. We know this is all in between May and now. And now we're going to start looking at the entire, complexity of the whole thing. We got a couple on the same street, Pitcher Court, Castlegate, Edenwood, Shenandoah. All right, so now we're going to say, let's scroll down a little bit. And in this column here is going to tell you the date that it sold. Right? So this is the date that it sold. You got May 3rd, you got July 2nd, May 20th, June 30th, May 28th. Now here's one thing that you want to look at, make sure everything is good. You got 3 bedrooms, all of them are 3 bedrooms because we kept that. We got, subject has 2.5 bath, everyone has, it's half and half. So you got 2 bath and 2.5 bath. They're within comparable, so you see that this one's bigger. This one's roughly a little bit bigger. This one's smaller. This one's a little bit bigger, but only by a little bit. And then you go to the year built, 1967. So a 1967 house doesn't really compare to a house. This is our subject property. It doesn't really compare exactly to a house that's built in 1996. It's newer, right? And so same with this one. And it even breaks it down. You're seeing that this house is getting $134 a square foot. $122 a square foot. But you're looking at the most recent one, $160, $170. So why did this one sell different? This one's, the lot size is a little bit bigger, built the same year. And then you have really the same characteristics. But here's the difference between these two. Only a couple square foot difference, so that doesn't really go into account much. The only thing is the lot size is a little bit bigger. And this one sold more recently, right? This one sold more recently by a little bit over almost 2 months. So that may show you a trend going downward, but don't get too complicated in that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off everything that I wrote, right? And we're going to keep moving. So now that we have comparable properties, let's kind of look. So here's something that sticks out to me as I'm doing comps right now. You got one that sold for 178, 215, 110, 160, kind of all over the board. And then you have this one that sold for 55,000. And then you're scratching your head and said, this doesn't make sense. And then you're going to look where number 5 is. Number 5 on this board is in the same neighborhood. It's actually not too far at all. This is your subject property, and number 5 is over here. So you're in the same neighborhood. Why did this one, number 5, sell for 55 grand? So let's look at this. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to the details. We're going to click on this property. We're going to see what happened. Right? And so now we're going into the details of this property just to kind of see what happened and why this property sold way below everything else. I told you my dog was going to be in the shop. Bentley out. So now that we're looking at this property details, same neighborhood, let's go to the mortgage and transaction history and see what happened. I see something. This property was purchased using cash. So, right, so if you can see this breakdown here, this property was bought using cash. So this was a cash buyer. It definitely must have been a fixer-upper. This guy just bought this house 4 months ago, cash. It was an arm's length transaction, so that means it was not in the family, and he paid $55,000 for it. So this person's got a heck of a deal, or it can be a cash buyer that you may need to add to your list. and you see their name here and everything about them, right? Or they could just be somebody that bought a fixer-upper themselves, all right? So when you're looking at, when you go back to the full compare analysis chart, I'm going to take this one off. The reason being is it doesn't fit because it was a cash purchase. So I don't want to compare this one to everything else. It was a cash purchase, right? And so now I'm looking to say, okay, Flintfield, same neighborhood. We're going to scroll over here. It's got 2.5 bath. This one sold for $178, but it was built in 1996 versus 1967. And let's see if we have something that's even closer. So something that I like. What made this one sell for so much more money? Same lot size, built, it's a little bit newer, but not by much, 7 years. That's not much in house terms. It's probably just on a much better street, much more taken care of property, right? But we're going to keep it in there. All right, so we took off, and now we're comparing 1, 2, 3, 4 properties. Okay, so let's look at the one that sold the most recent picture, which is built in 96. Let's look at this one here. It's going to take a little while to load up here. And so now you're starting to dig deep. This is why people are afraid of doing comparative analysis. But when you do this so much, when you do it so often, you just want to compare apples to apples. At the end of the day, you don't want to take an orange and take an apple and try to compare them. You're trying to compare apples to apples. One of the big discrepancies, what I'm seeing now, is one house was built in 1967, one house was built in 1996. Now let's look at this property, the one that sold a little bit more. And then so you can click on the pictures. That's the cool thing about having Propstream. You can click on the pictures and see what happened trying to figure out how to scroll this. Okay, maybe I can't look at the pictures on this handy dandy board. But I guarantee you, if you're on your computer, you can look at the pictures and see exactly what happened. This one sold for 110. I think this is a little bit low. Just looking on the outside, I can tell it wasn't a rehab. Okay, so we know we're not going to be at 178 because that's a newer house. We know this one, just by looking on the outside, it was not a fixer-upper, right? And so these two houses were built in, I'm going to keep that one on. This one was built in 1996. That one was built in 1996. Now, I'm not going to eliminate these from my comps. I just know this is a newer house that we're going against. And so by eliminating these two properties and with this high comp here at 215, I really don't like that high comp, but I'm going to make some adjustments based upon, that this house, something must be special about this house. And I don't know what it is, but I know it's not going to sell for 215. And so when I'm looking at this, we know that this house was not fixed up. This was a cash sale, way too low. This one's a 1996. This one's a 1996. So we know we're going to be cheaper than this one, more expensive than this one. And really what the algorithm is saying here is this house is probably worth about $162,000. It's taking all of that stuff and putting it together. And so because we eliminated this and it starts to compare apples to apples, it's going to take away some points for this and that. 215, way out of the race. So what you don't do as a wholesaler is you look at the 215 and say, hey, this house is worth 215. It's kind of the most comparable. No, something is wrong. Something's up with this house. Why it's the best. Square footage looks the same. Let's see here. Square footage of the house is the same, but 215 is high. But you know what makes me think something? This is the most recent sale in the neighborhood and the most comparable. I would love to actually see. Let me see if they have pictures on this one. I don't think they do because I don't see the picture icon. We do have pictures, but I can't look at them all. See if I can change something here. Got it. All right, cool. So just by looking at this property, it's a fully rehabbed property. Fully rehabbed property. Just by looking at these pictures, I can't see all of them, but I can, oh, boom, here we go. Pictures. Look at that. Fully rehabbed property. Granite countertops. Brand new everything. Man, this looks like we did it. I wonder if this is our team. Right? So you're talking new siding on the outside, bathrooms all done. So this is what this property can fetch. So now this changes a little bit. Fully rehab property, and this has got to be one of the new highs in the neighborhood. So for $215. Now let's jump back here. The data is telling me that Flintfield, our subject property, it's got 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,900, almost 1,200 square feet, same lot. We look at the most comp that I like the most recently sold, $215, which has got to be the new neighborhood high in there, 3-bedroom, 1 less half bath, square footage is roughly the same, lot size, a little bit newer. It's got $168 a square foot. That's amazing. That's actually crazy. So what this is telling me, so am I going to deduct any points? Equal here. This gets a plus. The bath gets a plus. The square feet, roughly the same. It's about 75 square foot less. So that gets a little minus. That's the same. This gets a little bit minus. So you start to calculate. So what I would say this house is probably worth is between 207 to 212. And so that's where my ARV is going to be for this property, which is a new high. Got to be. So because same here when it comes to bed and baths, I got an extra half bath. I'm a little bit less on the square feet. Lot size is the same. This one's a little bit newer. So I'm going to just degrade the property just a little bit, downgrade it just a little bit from being where the $215 sale price that just happened in July in this crazy real estate market, 207 to 212 in that neighborhood, that's insane. Insane, because I did a flip on that house. I did a flip on that same street in 2017, and it sold for $135. But this house is a little bit bigger, but wow. So I hope this makes sense to you guys in the sense that it's not very hard. You just have to know the parameters of the things that you're going to be doing the most. As far as you're going to have to be comparing bedrooms, baths, square foot of the house, lot size, those type of things come into factor. And so a lot of people just are like, you know what? I don't want to just make the screen bigger. And we had that directly in, right? Yeah. Sorry about the screen being small, but I zoomed in and used something different. So somebody said public record versus MLS. I talked about it. If you're in a disclosure state, you can use the public record. If you're in the MLS, you can actually click both. What happens is if you click both, it's going to show you sometimes duplicate of each property, and you're going to want to unclick the ones that are duplicates. All right. Max, would you comp a property live if we sent it? All right, Keith Alexander, you know what? Send me a property right now. Keith, send me a property right now in the comments, and I'll comp it for you right now. I'm going to take about maybe 5 or 10 minutes if I can get this property in here. I'm going to comp it live, and then I'm going to bring in a live guest. Is Keith Alexander still in the screen? If he doesn't do it in the next minute or so, I'll do it for the next one. I'll comp it for you live next week. It'll be a little different setup because I'll be in Mexico for the week, but we'll make it happen. All right, cool. He said, oh, he's sending me out to Omaha, Nebraska. All right, so that property is 4117. What's the street address? Crown Point. Is it the T? Boom. All right, so it pops up. Let's see what we got. This is going to be fun. All right, brand new property. I know nothing about Omaha, Nebraska. I've never been there. Maybe I have, but not on purpose. I think I have been to Omaha. All right, cool. Brand new property popped up, Crown Point, and remember what we said we're going to go over, right? This house, let's point out some things real quick so we know exactly what it is. 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 644 square feet, lot 5, 65%, built in 1926. So old one, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on comparables and nearby location, right? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to filter my date. Square foot is automatically set. And so here we go. We run into a problem where there's absolutely nothing. So this is a good thing to do. Let's see. I'm actually going to do both here because I don't know if Omaha is a disclosure or non-disclosure. And so right off the bat, I can tell you that some rules are going to be broken because right now we have 0 comps, and I haven't even started putting in the bedroom, right? So I need a minimum of 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I'm going to max it out at 2. I'm going to max that out at 3. I'm going to go with sold only. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to expand All right, you see what I did? So because I'm guessing he's a non-disclosure state, Nebraska is, I had to click both or MLS, and this is giving me MLS data. As you can see right here, Propstream is going to give you the MLS data, right? So it's going to be pretty simple. I did the 2-bedroom, 3-bath. I did 2 bedroom up to 3 bedrooms, 1 bath up to 2 bath. And then, but here's some rules that I don't know this area, but look at this. Major road. I wouldn't cross it if I don't know the area. Now, if you know the area and you want to cross it because you know it's the same across that street, then that's fine. And so this doesn't look like a major road, but typically I wouldn't do it. So this isolates this property. And so this is, I don't think this is really a major road, but 1 and 2, for me, I would have to dump them out. But I don't know the area. And so sometimes across the street could be easy, but this looks like a parkway, like a highway. So typically I would definitely click these off. But I don't, like I said, I don't know the area. So I got 2 comps in the area. Now let's look at the 2 comps that I got. I got the 2 bottom ones, right? Bedrooms 3, bedrooms 2. Now, here's something about this one. This has 3 bedroom, our subject property has 2. This one has 3, this one has 2, that one has 3, right? Bath is 1, that's the same. Square foot's a little bit smaller. These ones are exactly the same. They're probably built at the same time. Lot size, 6,500, 54, 49, 1926, 1955. This is clearly older, and they're getting about between 71 and 76 square foot, dollars square foot, and these are what have been sold, okay? So on this property, not knowing the area, I'm going to play it somewhat safe, and this property sold for 55, 59. I would put this property comped out in this area that I don't know between 50K and 55K. Right? And because it needs to be less than these two, so it needs to have this range. And so if you look up at what Propstream gives you, saying 57, what's the average price of these two properties that I selected? But I did the math and I showed you, hey, look, this property is, you know, this one definitely has, and you see this one sold for a little bit more because it had an extra bed, a bath, a bedroom. So you're going to be somewhere between 50 and 55. I would say you could even go to even be a little bit. Let's look at something real quick. And here's another thing that you can get when you're using MLS data. Days on market. We can see that the 3-bedroom, these all sold, that sold just last month, 3 months ago. These are a little bit older. So this one lasted 8 days. Why? Because 3 bedrooms must be pretty rare in this area. So it got snatched up. This one took 45 days, right? And so I'm curious to see what the conditions of these homes are.
He did say for clarification that the area is all the same.
It's all the same, okay. Now I'm just pulling up to see if I get some MLS pictures. Hopefully we do, just to kind of see if these things were renovated or they're just being sold as rentals. I don't know if it's a rental community, so on and so forth. I guess I could tell by going back and looking and see if there's an absentee owner versus it being. All right, cool. So this is clearly some rental stuff. Yeah, rental. These are all rental properties. That sold for, wow, okay. And so I could tell by going to click on details, which I was just at, I don't know how I came off of it. All right, so occupancy occupied, and I can tell it's absentee owner because of the non-owner occupied status. The person that bought this, Joshua Scott, in a different part of Nebraska, but he bought it MLS, financed, as looks like a rental property. So I would price that somewhere between 48, maybe 55, all the way up, just depending on how crazy the actual market is there. So, Keith, I hope that helped you out. I know that was kind of quick. We got 20 minutes left. So I think what I'm going to do is, it's going to be interesting. Maybe I just need some headphones that I could call. We can do.
Do you have like AirPods?
I don't.
Want to use these?
No plug.
No, don't have that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my friend, my homie, Nasar, which I didn't think about this, but I was like, yo, let me bring in Nas to this chat. Yeah.
But just have him.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you, is he going video?
Yeah. So if he has his computer out.
Yeah, go video and just mute YouTube and we're good. Yeah, get off of that. Did Matt send you a link?
I forwarded it to you. I didn't know if it was text.
Where'd you send it to, Matt?
Slack.
Slack? You sent it to him on Slack?
Forwarded it to you. Or he forwarded it to you earlier. Didn't know if you wanted to send it.
He's gonna send it to your email. So Keith was saying, dope, appreciated that, brother. 50K was right where I was thinking. And so it says, are there methods of getting comps without Propstream? Mike, there probably is, but for 97 bucks, if you're gonna be in this business and do it for real, you probably need to invest in something that's gonna be way easier. To find all that data that you just seen in Propstream all over the place, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna have to go to 50 different websites and you're just gonna be all over the place. So that is not gonna be something that you wanna do. I only comp with Propstream because it's gonna give you MLS data and county data, which you're not gonna get somewhere else. And so, are there methods of using comps without Propstream? Sure, I don't think so. I haven't used them, but you definitely need to get Propstream. Use the 7-day free trial. I have a free course on exactly how to use this. But comping is really not that hard. A lot of people just haven't been in real estate, so they just don't know what to do or what not to do. All right, so now just check that email out. Cool, you gotta stay with me because it's the only way I can hear you. And so I'm gonna throw some questions up. My man Nas is joining us. And so over the last 15 minutes, Nas and I are gonna do Q&A. Hey, if you're just starting out in this business, what I would do is get obsessed with some podcasts, listen to like 1 or 2 podcasts, find 1 or 2 YouTube channels that you like, obviously me being one of them. Go watch some of my old videos and start moving progressive towards the front. And if you have money to invest into yourself, Nas and I have a course, it's $500. It shows you step-by-step instructions, plus you get to be a part of the community and all that stuff. But I get it because I started in this business with $0. I didn't have the money to do it. You can skip trades through Propstream. If you go to REIskip.com, then you're going to get better results. So this is a good question. So Slatewood Property said, since they were not renovated, why didn't you comp them higher? I'm assuming that this area, just because of the price points, are going to be for rental properties. And so I think that if they're selling that property as is, the way it's going to be selling for 55. We had buyers that were buying on the MLS, and typically you don't see those properties going on for MLS. So that property where you need to be at is probably 55 where you need to be selling it at. So you need to be in obviously lower. I don't think it's a place that they're going to go in and renovate and then put on the MLS for higher price. It just didn't seem like that type of market for me. So I think we got Nas on. Nas, you on there with us? Nas, you let me on the phone. Can you hear me on the phone?
He's going to connect to audio on his computer.
Nas, you got to connect to audio on your computer. I can hear you, but can they hear you? Can y'all hear Nas?
All right. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you good. I'm pretty sure you're looking ugly. How you doing today?
I'm all right, man. They got me on the. Yo, how do I change cameras on this, man? You know, I wasn't ready for.
I'm not your technical director. Just run with it.
All right, we running with it, dog. Live.
But Nas, did you see the live? You know, a lot of people talk about comping and how difficult it could be. What are you and your team doing for comping? Do you do comping or does your team do comping?
My team does comping, and we use the tool that you just showed.
Okay.
Same Propstream. We use Propstream daily in our business. Got rid of everything else a few years ago. Propstream is basically an all-in-one.
Because it just bundles
So,
everything together, right?
like literally, yeah, you could do it. You could just stay in there.
Exactly. So in this portion of what we're doing is just some Q&A. I figure you and I come on here and we just answer some questions. And so what I'll do is I'll read out some questions and we'll just answer them when we can. So let me see if I can look at the queue. Say it again? Can you put headphones in on your phone, Nas?
Headphones on my phone. Oh, shucks. Y'all know nobody walk around with the strings no more.
He said the strings. I know you got AirPods. You're rich.
Yeah, all right, let me look at my AirPods. I ain't got no pants on, so let me get low.
He said he said you don't have no pants on. Yo, this is what I got to deal with Nas every day. But you know, here's what's cool is comping can be difficult if you make it difficult. It's really comparing apples to apples. Your bedrooms, your bathrooms, your square footage, that whole nine, it needs to be equal. And if you find something that's above or below, you need to be able to make price adjustments based upon what you're seeing in the market. And so you need to be in a range. There's no exact science to comping properties. You're never going to hit it directly on the head. You just need to be in that ballpark so you can make an educated decision on what the amount of investment you're going to make it in. So don't make it difficult. Use the tools, rewind this video, and just go do it. And what I would do is comp 5 or 10 properties every single day until you feel comfortable. Pick random addresses and just go.
Nasar must have lost his headphones in his BMW.
Probably. All right, so while we're waiting for Nas to get his headset and everything, we'll just go through some of these questions. So Derek says, what happens if you only have one comparable property? So this happens. You're going to have to use that comparable property, and if it's not exactly like, you're going to have to do some adjustment. Sometimes when you're in the rural parts of America, you're going to have to expand your distance. You're going to have to expand some of your parameters just so you can get, you know, a better property to comp. Like I said, it's not science. It's more of an art.
Entertain us.
You want me to entertain you? So Andrea said, what do you use the county's website for? Now I don't even go on the county's website because everything that they have on the website is right there on Propstream. Nas, you ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready, bro.
All right, cool. So G. Murray has a question. The question is, are you still using the 0.70 or the 30% deduction in your market to determine maximum allowed offer?
No. If you're in a major city, you don't have to. You can go a little higher in any major city in America. You will go a little higher because, and Propstream actually has a cheat code, right? So if any property Max were to put in, right, Max can just press a button that says cash buyers. And you can see what cash buyers are buying it at in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a cheat code to it. But my personal opinion, we are doing a little bit over 70. We're in Charlotte and it's crazy hot here.
So are you at more like you're only subtracting like 20 to 25?
For some deals.
Yeah.
For
Hot,
the newer
hot,
stuff.
yeah. Okay. So let's see. Which one is more effective for wholesaling, the MLS or driving for dollars? I know there are different strategies like the double dip strategy. So Jordan asked that question, which I don't think MLS is anything that you should be doing for wholesale deals. And here's the problem, and the reason why I say this. And Nas, you can have an answer as well. But what happens is that you're trying to solve a problem. And if a property is listed on the MLS, which is like the biggest pool of buyers available, what problem are you solving by going to the MLS and trying to find deals on the MLS? Typically, people that do that are afraid to get on the phone. They're afraid to go out and find motivated people who need to sell their house. So they just resort to going on the MLS and trying to find stuff. Is there a strategy with doing things on the MLS? Absolutely. You know, we use a software that will do no good right now because of how hot the market is. We'll send 100 offers in a day, all from just a click of a button. It's not worth it in this market that we're in right now. What do you think about that, Nas? MLS or driving for dollars?
Drive for dollars. I've been doing this business full time since September of 2012. That's when I got fired. And I probably, if I haven't done 1 to 2 MLS deals, I think I did 0. Like, I don't even look at the MLS. Every time an MLS deal falls, it's because someone gives it, someone else brings it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at the MLS. That's not a strategy for me. I've probably done like less than 2 deals from being full time since September of 2012.
Yeah, I mean, he's and you even were doing this in 2012 when housing prices were real low.
Stupid low, bro. Stupid low, man. I mean, like, they were literally probably a third of what they are, probably less than that, a third or a fourth of what they are today in some neighborhoods.
What are some of your craziest buy and hold deals, whether it's land or a house that you have bought back then and you sold now? Like,
okay, the stuff that I bought back then, I sold now, I regret. You know, when you sell a rental, I regret it, me personally. But the good stuff I got now, I got a house for $1,000 that was in the hood. Last cash offer I got is about $115,000.
wait, so you bought a house for $1,000 and now somebody offered you $115,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the last offer. Fixed up, probably get about $180,000. Fixed up. Right now, it's in the pocket. That's just, you know, off. That's, you know, eventually will go up even more. My other great deal, something I did in my retirement account, I bought six lots for $12,000. Somebody offered me $400,000.
Did you sell them?
Nah, kept it.
So your IRA would have been popping though.
IRA would have been jumping, bro. IRA would have been jumping, but the money parked in the ground is Charlotte real estate, man.
True.
If you buy Charlotte real estate right, you normally don't lose if you don't sell in the down market. And yeah, that's my plan, just not to sell it.
Wow. Okay, we got a question from Tyrese. Since we are wholesaling in this crazy time with crazy prices, how do you feel about making offers? Have you adjusted your prices at all?
It's kind of what we just went over. I mean, absolutely. I mean, now what I'm not doing, I'm not getting bidding wars. I'm not playing that game of who's going to make the least amount of money on this deal. So I tell the seller that we don't, they say, hey, we got multiple offers, this is where we're at. They tell me the highest offer. I tell them, hey, look, maybe you should take that offer. Why wouldn't you take that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, me personally, yes. Do we have to put a competitive offer? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So something's worth 150. Yeah, I got to be at maybe 80, 90.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas in the past, I'd be at 70, probably sell it for 80. You know, now I'm being at 80, 90 my price and selling it to a speculator, aka a flipper.
Yeah, so the short answer is you definitely have to do adjustments. So Gerard says, question, are either of you familiar with real estate tokenization and how it can help wholesalers crowdsource funds? I don't know. I've never heard that.
I never heard that before, bro.
Never. So I don't know. I never heard that one.
Never heard that one. He got me on that one.
There's something I'll go look up tonight though. So Wayne Love says, how do you comp land in the hood? Owner is asking for $85,000 and he's got the emoji eyes.
Ooh, that's a good question. All right. How do you comp land in the hood? All right. How do you comp land in general? Let's just go there, right?
Yeah.
So you have to see what the houses are selling for. All right. If it's an infill lot, meaning an infill lot is basically an empty lot on the street of houses.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something like that, then you will go see what houses are selling for. If houses are selling for $100,000, a builder, the rule of thumb for a builder is they want to be 10 to 20% all in for the lot.
10
right?
10 to 20% of the entire project, right?
Entire, yes, project that it retails for.
So, for example, a $100,000 house, the land would have
They
to
need that
cost.
lot for like somewhere between 10 and 20.
Got it. Okay.
And that's the national rule of thumb. Okay. Now, with that being said, you have to see what houses are selling for and see, because 85,000 could be a great deal in Charlotte if it's here
Mm-hmm.
in the hood. If it's in San Francisco, it might be a steal. So, it all depends, man, where you're at and everything.
And it really depends on $85,000. It depends on how big that lot is you're talking about.
Absolutely. How big is that lot? Is it an infill lot, meaning one lot in the street of houses, or is it, 15 lots?
Correct. Let's see. We had a question. So when valuating multifamily, how do you come up with the value?
When evaluating multifamily, ooh, that's a good one. Those go and sell by cap rate.
Exactly.
They don't use a comp system. They go by cap rate.
So what you got to think about when you're buying multifamily is you're buying a business. And so any business that somebody purchases, they're going to want a return on investment. And so what you need to do is look up cap rate. Go Google the definition of cap rate, and then once you know what cap rate is, watch a YouTube video on how to find the cap rate of an apartment building. And you'll jump right in there and you'll find it out. Hey, Nas, for the people that don't know you, kind of tell them your backstory like in a couple minutes.
For those who don't know me, I'm Nasar, aka the real estate guru. Not a guru, I'm a guru because I actually do
this business.
And yes, with that being said, I've been involved in real estate since about 2007. I bought my first house at 24. I went to go flip it. Me and my man, we lost $7,000 a piece on that joint. Okay, and fast forward, I have a 7-figure real estate business. We do primarily wholesaling in Charlotte. I've done every type of residential transaction there is for the most part, and
Even new builds.
even new construction. I've pretty much done it on the residential level, and man, I was somebody graduated from college, worked in call centers for 4 years from 2008 2012. Well, worked in corporate America. Never had a good job. Highest paying job was $38,000 a year. Turned that into a 7-figure real estate business when I got fired in September of 2012. And fast forward, me and Max put a course together, I want to say last year, to help you guys out and put all the information in one place.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, then make sure you go check out maxandnas.com and get your step-by-step instructions. But Nas actually inspired me to get on YouTube because he's been doing YouTube since about 2012. And then he stopped for a while, and now he's back on it. So make sure you go subscribe to his channel, The Real Estate Guru. And, we're just out here to help. We do a lot. We travel around the country. We speak to people. You can watch us on YouTube, on Instagram. You can get our course. Whatever your level of learning that you want to do, that's what you can do, man. But at the end of the day, It's 8 o'clock, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Nas, you got any departing words for him?
Man, guys, everybody who's watching this live, man, always remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes, okay? If you don't do anything today, you're going to be complaining about your life, the same stuff 5 years from now. So get out there and grab life, grab the horn, grab the bull by the horns and live life your way. Take risks, not saying go out there and quit your job. Let's take calculated risks. But what I'm saying is take the correct steps to get to the goals you want to achieve.
That's it, man. So keep it simple. Take action right now. Get after it. I appreciate you guys for tuning into the live. I'll see you guys next week. I'll actually be in Mexico, so I'm going to be doing live from Mexico. But until then, go out there, take action. Follow us on Instagram, The Real Maxwell, The Real Estate Guru. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.